Hello, and welcome to Module 1 of Beyond the Veil, an experiential course in soul-to-soul communication, what I call mediumship. That word experiential is the key. My book, entitled Mediumship, is about the why mediumship is important and that it can change your life. But this course is about how it feels to engage in soul-to-soul communication and how it works. And you're going to experience that with practices, practical exercises in every module. So let me begin by just reassuring you that mediumship is not an ability reserved for special people. Yes, it's unique because not everybody is practicing soul-to-soul communication. They don't know it's possible. But mediumship is a natural ability. It arises because we are basically consciousness having a human experience, with consciousness being synonymous with awareness. The one basic state that all of us share is the awareness I am, I exist. Everything else is story added on to that. So we're going to experience ourselves as awareness and begin to notice what arises in awareness and notice what stands out. And when we set a clear intention to connect with other souls, such as your loved ones who have passed, your guides, angels, all of that is possible. When we set a clear intention and we shift our attention beyond the body, but using the body as the receiver that it is, then we begin to notice what stands out, what is not our normal field of thoughts, sensations, and feelings, and we engage with what arises because it's all coming from the same field. So mediumship is direct perception of communication beyond your normal physical senses. How cool is that? I had no idea that I could communicate with spirits, with those who have passed, for most of my life, until I set the clear intention to communicate with my stepdaughter, Susan, who had been struck and killed by lightning. I sat daily, quietly, carving out time and space to connect with Susan. And I sat and I listened for her and I looked for her. But clearly I couldn't do that with my physical ears and eyes. So I was just quiet. And I started to notice how the mind works. And I noticed how many thoughts were repetitive and not supportive of myself. And I noticed how I would get caught by a physical sensation and my attention would wander. But because I was so committed to connecting with Susan, I went right back to noticing, simply noticing what arose. And anything that wasn't Susan, I just let it go. And I went back to noticing. I didn't realize that that practice was training for mediumship because it trained me in holding a clear intention. So that's goal number 1. It trained me in holding my attention on that one intention. And then it trained me in noticing those things that weren't helpful and letting them go without letting them distract me. So there you have basically the recipe for mediumship right there, right off the bat, module 1. Just imagine what's going to happen by module 8. But right off the bat, we have intention plus attention. And let's add to that the focus, of course, the letting go of what is not helpful. And then very important are resonance, talk about that in a second, and trust that you truly have this ability because it's natural and that you personally can connect with higher aspects of consciousness. And then the belief, of course, that higher consciousness exists, that you are not a sole agent here and have to do everything alone, that you are fully supported by a loving, benevolent universe populated not just with physical human beings, but with non-physical beings who are here to help us. All of that is true. So the trust and the belief are paramount, but the resonance is also important. What is resonance? Well, if you were to go to a party and you walked in the door and there were a bunch of people you didn't know, wouldn't you be drawn to certain people and some other people you just know, hey, I don't resonate with them? Perfect example of resonance. So we want to come into resonance with the spirits that we're trying to connect with. The very best way to do that, the best way to raise our vibration, is with thoughts of gratitude, appreciation, care, and compassion. If you sit and pause and get centered with a deep breath, which I'll give you the opportunity to do in just a few minutes, and you bring to mind something for which you're grateful, you feel that appreciation within the body. The body is an instrument, not something to be set aside when we do soul-to-soul communication. And you bring thoughts of care and compassion for the world, not just the one you're trying to connect with. This will bring you into resonance faster than anything with those you're trying to connect with, because they no longer have a body. And let me tell you, we talk about lifting the veil and connecting across the veil. The body is the veil. The body and its dense vibration within this world of matter is what blocks us from sensing beings who are right here in this one field of shared consciousness. So mediumship is not so much about efforting to achieve something. It's about getting the dense energy out of the way. I'd really like you to focus on that concept because it's paramount. We try so hard to connect with our loved ones. I want to connect with you. And as I do that, I can't even do it without clenching my fists, and I feel my body become tight and tense. Try it for just a second. How does it feel when you experience that deep need to connect with your loved ones? This is a course about how. It's an experiential course. So just for a moment, feel how badly you want to connect with your loved one. That's understandable, and there's nothing wrong with it. But that experience will get in the way of connecting soul to soul. And that's the difference. You are both a soul and a human in a physical body. So what we do is we shift our identity from human who needs, we acknowledge that it's real, and we momentarily set it aside, and we affirm, I am a beautiful soul. Move your awareness out of the head where we think about things and try things, down into the heart, and now down into the belly, a soul center referred to in many traditions as the hara. Just rest here for a moment in the hara. Let's take a deep breath. Exhale very slowly and relax fully, releasing that previous need and desire to connect. Feel how open you feel. Experience spaciousness now that you have set the need aside. The need can just exist there. It'll come back for sure. But for now, let's do another nice slow inhale through the nose, maybe to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And relaxing as deeply as you can. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel how this feels. What you've just done is a key to mediumship. You have removed interference. And just like with a radio signal, interference causes static. Just with that breath that is longer on the exhale than the inhale, that's called a vagus nerve breath, you activated the body's relaxation system. Now you've come into resonance with the field itself. Just feel this. And I'd like you to ask a question of the universe right now. What is here in awareness that is not coming from thought in the brain? Hold your awareness in the belly and the heart. What is here in awareness? There's no right or wrong answer there, but what came into awareness? This is the most fundamental practice for mediumship right here. Setting an intention to release any blocks, to remove interference, and to simply be as the soul, spacious, open, not constricted, listening and watching. This state is mediumship at its best. I'll see you back here for the next module.